Obviously, a big game tomorrow night for Liverpool, Tom. You go away to Nottingham Forest. They are back in scintillating form. Yep. They beat you at Anfield.
Second best team in the league.
They have been an amazing side. Sam thinks they're favourites over you to win the league title. How are you feeling about tomorrow's game? You know, a chance to go 9 points clear of Arsenal, a chance to you're playing the same night as City, so we see what happens. But a big game. You feeling confident, nervous?
No, I am not confident at all. Nottingham Forest worry me a lot. They're currently in their best winning run in Premier League history, 6 wins in a row. They've got the best form in the league. The players are fully bought into Nuno's ideas. They're the only teams that beat us earlier this season, albeit I don't think they'll play the same way just because they're at home. If they played the same way, they'd probably do us again. I'm not going to lie. We're a little bit inconsistent at the minute. I think that Honest's trying to change a little bit about our build-up, and that's impacting the team a little bit, which is fine. But, it's probably the time you really want to play Nottingham Forest away, especially under the lights on a Tuesday night. Chris Wood's in great form. Alanga and Hudson-Odoi are 2 dangerous wingers. Murillo and Milenkovic are a rock-solid centre-back partnership. Sells in goal has been statistically the best goalkeeper in the league this season. So there's a lot there which worries me. Do I think that we can get the job done if players turn up on the day? Yes. I do think on the day we are better than Nottingham Forest, but it's a tough place to go. It's a tough ground to go. They'll be well up for it. They're riding a proper big wave. I'm not confident going into this game in the way I've been in others. I'd take
a draw.
I'd take a draw. I would take a draw. I think that Nottingham Forest at home. This isn't like the old Nottingham Forest of last year where you got to beat them.
Sorry, whose dog's barking?
No idea.
It's not here.
Oh, because my dog's barking here, but then I'm hearing it in my ear well after. Maybe it's anyway. Sorry, carry on. Sorry, I thought it was weird that both our dogs are barking at the same time. But yeah, anyway, and continue. Sorry,
I'm just. I am a bit nervy about the game tomorrow. I do want to see us improve, but I'm not going to sit there and be overly disappointed if we leave with just a point. There's games that coming up this season that we can take points from, and dropping points to a team who are the best in the league on form at the minute. Got a really good home record, beat us early this season. I would like to get my revenge, but I'm not going to be massively disappointed if we leave with just a point instead. It's all about maintaining position at the top, and teams around us, as long as you don't lose to them, you're going to do a good job at keeping that spot. So
you can't afford to draw both games, though. You got Brentford as well, which is also tough.
Brentford. We have to beat Brentford. Nottingham Forest is a bit different because Brentford's home record's now gone. It's like the facade's ended now. They've been beaten by Arsenal, being beaten by Forest. I don't think they've got a very good home record recently, type thing. So we should be beating Brentford, but Nottingham Forest at home on a Tuesday night at 8:00. That ground can get good at the best of times, let alone.
You have rested a lot of players though, like Van Dijk, Salah didn't play. Trent will, he had a bit of a smile on his face. Great striker, albeit Accrington Stanley, but you got to beat what's in front of you. Your first team practically is rested and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
But Nottingham Forest at the same time, they rested a lot of players as well.
I'm giving Nottingham Forest a lot of respect here. I am. I'm giving Nottingham Forest a lot of respect. I think they've been very good this season. I know we've rested players, but I think you had to. Obviously, it's Accrington Stanley, not wheeling the star out for that. But we've also got
who are they?
Games coming exactly.
Please say it. Please say it in your voice. Go on.
What you want me to say? Fuck it.
Come on, say
Accrington Stanley. Who are they?
Sorry, made me laugh.
I'm not fully confident going into tomorrow. I just want to leave with not a loss, and I'll take it.
Can anyone see it? Double A, do you see a slip up here? Can you see Liverpool dropping some points? And dare I say it, opening the door for Arsenal, opening the door for Chelsea, maybe even City. Can you see them dropping them points?
Who? Maybe
Forest. Maybe for Forest. Yes. More importantly, yeah, you're right.
Maybe not Forest, but you never know. Listen, you've seen it happen so many times. I think Tom's right to be maybe a little bit apprehensive just going into that game. Like I said, we've been there and been absolutely battered. But obviously, we're terrible. But it is a tough place to go and play, especially night games under the lights. Was very impressed with Forest at Old Trafford. For me, the best team that's been at Old Trafford, better than Liverpool and Spurs this season. But no, that's a joke. But listen, I think Liverpool are showing they've got that right mentality. You know, they are rightly so at this moment in time. We would say the best team in Europe, top of the Champions League, top of the Premier League, and I think they'll go there and expect to be Liverpool and do what Liverpool do and get a win. You know, the people in the chat are saying Slot's looking for revenge. He's only defeating the league this season, obviously at home to Forest, so we'll be looking for some revenge. I can understand why it'll say a draw, but I just think Liverpool at the moment, as much as it pains me to say it, are just very, very impressive. And I think they'll be very professional tomorrow. And I think they might get the job done quite convincingly.
I hope so.
I know I don't, but I know you do.
I don't know about convincingly. I think a draw probably is a safe bet. Like, I agree with what you're saying. They have definitely got the right mentality to go there, put in a professional job, maybe come out of a 1 or 2-0 win. But Tommy's right, Forest away, like them and Newcastle right now. I just wouldn't, I just do not want to go there at all because they're both firing all cylinders, both in great form and both know how to win. I don't know if you guys did you guys watch the Wolves game where Wolves had chances and Forest just went, all right, if you're not going to take, that's it, see you later, and they bagged 3 goals. And Chris Wood at the moment, what's he on now? 13 league goals, 14 league goals. Yeah, but I'd back a draw, but it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool come out of a 1-0 win. I think
Liverpool are showing.
Before Nunes scored, didn't you? And you won 1-0 at Forest's ground.
Thank God he's suspended this year. Oh my God, that's
the
best news we've ever had.
Liverpool, if Liverpool drop points to Nottingham Forest, you just know Arsenal are going to drop points to Tottenham.
We'll end up beating.
I'm not saying we're going to lose, but we're going to end up drawing or something.
Something like that. I think Liverpool are showing Nottingham Forest too much respect, the content creators. I think that you guys are just scared to get clipped up. Like, that's just what it's been.
Will they beat us?
I know that they beat you guys and they're your only loss in the Prem this season. But I mean, my goodness me, you are literally the best team in Europe right now. You're top of the Champions League. You're top of the Premier League. You got Mo Salah, who everybody's saying is better than Thierry Henry. You got Van Dijk. You still got Allison.
I have chest for any team other than Nottingham Forest.
I don't get, like, why. I'll say this. Like, let's just be honest. Nottingham Forest. Wait, they're on good form right now, right? And they've definitely been one of the biggest surprises in the Premier League. But it's Nottingham Forest, bro. Like, let's not act like they're going to go play like I don't know, like Bayern Munich or some team like that. No, bro. But like, you guys should be winning this game. Like,
we've struggled in the last 2 years away. We struggled in the last 2 years away at Nottingham Forest. We lost 1-0, and we won last year 1-0 thanks to a last-minute goal. They beat us early this season, and they were in incredible form. I have chest for pretty much every other team in the league this season. I've got to show a bit of respect to the one team who beat me.
You got more chest against Madrid.
Can I just say this quickly, Tom? I'll say this about the game. I'll say this about the game, right? Honestly, I do think that for me, I do believe that Liverpool will win tomorrow's game. However, I can see why you're a little bit reserved, Tom, because here's the thing, right? It's not just because they beat you earlier this season. It's not even just that, because I'll be honest, when they beat you earlier this season, I kind of looked at it as just one of those games where it's an anomaly, you know, they basically came there with a plan and got the win, right? But really, since then, they've really improved. Like, they've been one of the standout teams of the season. Nuno is in a shout for manager of the season at the end of the season. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he's definitely a shout, right? They're currently in challenging for the Champions League places. And like you said, Tom, they're in a very, very good form and they're playing at home, right? So it's not going to be an easy game. In any stretch of the imagination. It's going to be a very, very difficult game. But still, I do believe that Liverpool, they will get tested, but they will come out of it with a good score. So I think they will win.
But I was more so just coming from it with the POV of like how Tom's like, yeah, like I'd like to, you know, like get something from the game. And it's like, bro, like, what are you like? Liverpool, like what you talking about? You want to get
if I had Brentford first, I'd be speaking the way you want me to speak of. We're going to put 4 past them. We're going to bash them. These are the only team that have beaten me this season that I've watched the game and went, we deserve to get. We deserve to lose to Nottingham Forest when we lost to them. We created nothing. They penned us in, and then they done the classic thing of bring 2 wingers on in the last 20 minutes and kept catching us on the counter attack. And it should have been more than one. So we were lucky to get away with it last time. Now I'm going to treat these lot with respect, ain't it? They done a job on me early this season. I want to back off and sort of it's all right. You can I put a bit of respect on your name now. I do think it could be a little bit different this year in terms of this game, because I think they're going to start the wingers. When we played them at Anfield, they didn't start the wingers. They started 5 midfielders and just packed the middle. So the likes of Gravenberch and McAllister couldn't really do much because they get swarmed by 2 people. If they play the wingers now, it'll be a little bit more space for our technicians to operate in. We might be able to get a little bit more control of the game, create some better opportunities, but in the same breath, they are going to also carry a threat in terms of counter-attack, which the beat was on early this year. And if we're being entirely honest, the weakest part of our game this year defensively has been at left back and at right back, albeit right back's been a little bit more of a recent problem, but left back especially. You know, Anthony Langwood up against Robertson or Simicast, rather not. So I am a little bit nervy about it. I'd love for us to get a win, and I do think if we turn up on the day, if the players turn up with the same mentality they had going into Tottenham in the league or West Ham in the league, how we treated those away games, we'll beat them. Won't be as comfortable, but we'll beat them. I'm a little bit nervy about Nottingham Forest. I'm treating them with respect. It's a good outfit. Chris Wood, good in the air, terrified.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I like the fact that you're humble.
Listen, I get the humble approach. I do. The football gods are always listening. But I think you'll win. I do think you'll win. I believe Liverpool are a phenomenal team this year. It pains me to say it. You've had a couple of results, Man United and then the Spurs game, that haven't quite gone your way. I think you'll bounce back. I'd love to see 3 games on the bounce where you're dropping points to see, again, I think we're always interested when we're watching a team that's top of the league or in a title race to see how they react to adversity, a bad result. And obviously you drew to us in the league. You lost to Spurs. If you were to go and lose away at Nottingham Forest and the teams behind you, Forest would be one of them, of course, but to gain and put a bit more pressure on you, could we see a slip up from Liverpool, which has happened many times before when you've been top of the league at Christmas? So we all want to see it. I do find it'd be a really interesting Thursday top 6 show if Arsenal were to win the North London derby and you did drop points and there's 3 points up there. Arsenal will be 3 points off top whilst everyone's telling them to sack their manager. It would just be an interesting conversation in that regard.
Especially the Champions League also.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I love football talk, because the world can change in a matter of a few days.